Good morning, Australia, and everyone around the world. Continue to watch Neo Saba Show, and thank you very much for supporting me. Please continue subscribe and turn on those notification bells so that you don't miss more videos as we continue to post more videos. So, the federal election in Australia is coming through. Therefore, we're going to be covering intensively regarding the elections and what's going on so that you can have the informed decisions. As I'm coming to you guys, I'm very disappointed in The Guardians, one of the Australian media here. They have made a video regarding Australian changes into the election map. How does it affect the elections? They talk about who is in charge of that changes and how is it implemented. And so I made a reaction to that video. Unfortunately, I can't show you that video in full because of the Guardians have decided to put a copyright claim on that video. Therefore, I'm going to talk about in few details what is that video is all about, and then but you can enjoy the rest of the video because there is other more material into that video. The video was talking about how the Australian Electoral Commission is the one that is in charge of the election, not the politicians, and as well as how those maps have been changed, the names have been renamed. Therefore, I'm going to remove the material that I have put it in from The Guardians. Unfortunately, if you want to watch a full video, I'm going to link that video in my descriptions below. Please go there and find the full video on it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video. The US election is finished and we've seen the result, but most of you don't even know that there is an election coming. In Australia, people are so chilled right now. I've been going around, I haven't even seen one banner. Election is only about 4 to 5 months away, which comes in May this year. We just began. So let's see what is happening. All right, let's listen to this guy, what he said.
Elections, Australians vote to elect a member for their federal electoral division. As the population grows and changes, these electoral divisions and names are regularly reviewed to ensure equal representation as near as possible.
All right, how many times? Let's see.
People and organisations are invited to suggest boundaries and names, and the public then have the opportunity to comment on these suggestions as well. A suggestion, whether from a party, voter, prominent person, business, or anyone else, is just that, a suggestion. All input is considered, but decisions are made independently and with reference to the criteria. It's all about meeting the criteria, not the politics. Independence is key. An independent committee considers all public input and develops a proposed redistribution of the state or territory, including boundaries and names. The AEC is just the secretariat for the process. There is set criteria regarding boundary changes. They have to meet numerical requirements, keep communities of interest together, and consider physical aspects of an area. There are also published guidelines regarding how an electorate is named, but we've got a separate video that dives into that. Members of the public have 28 days to provide written feedback or objections to the proposed names and boundaries via post, email, or on our website. These initial objections are made available for public inspection, and the public then have a further 14 days to comment on these objections. If needed, a public inquiry will be held, where people can express their opinion in person to an expanded committee. At times,
Australian rules are something different now. Yeah. How is someone doing 8 to 5 every day? We understand even the rules around this. Don't you need some kind of lawyers who understand this kind of things to know whether there was some misrepresentation somewhere? But let's keep
an additional period of written public input can be sought. In that case, all public input is again considered before final boundaries and names are announced. Electors will then be notified of the result if the name or boundaries of their electoral division have changed. We're often told that the redrawing of electoral boundaries in Australia.
I've been in Australia for almost 18 years. I have not seen any letter telling me regarding this election redistribution. So we need to start understanding how this is communicated. I'm just learning this as a new thing right now. So if you knew what they were talking about, if you know how the public is notified regarding this, please let me know and see what they say about this.
Is a particular point of pride in the Australian electoral system. The multiple rounds of independent panels, public input, hearings, bulky reports, and clear and legislated criteria all work to prevent gerrymandering and ensure there is integrity and transparency in the process.
Last election, the mainstream media, at like this time, they were screaming regarding of the election. Let's start with Nine News and see what is Nine News doing. Sorry to these people who got an injury, but there is no much about the government policy. There is no much screaming regarding anything. They are more focused right now. I've been watching the news, or most of the mainstream media right now, they are focused what is going on with Donald Trump instead of focusing on the election. We are going through this election with a dollar, in Australian dollar right now is so down. The economy is so really bad right now. Many people are struggling to pay normal bills. Yet, even when they talk about the dollar, I can guarantee you, let's see what they talk about the dollar.
Hold budgets and might even impact what we get in an interest rate cut. Here's political editor Charles Croucher.
Tonight, the Australian dollar is worth around 62 US cents. That is the equal lowest point in almost 5 years, dating back to the crash at the start of COVID in March 2020. Last year, our dollar was down 8% against the US dollar, 3% against the euro, and even 7% against the pound, even as the UK struggled. This hurts the cost of living for an importing nation like ours, and you've probably noticed the price of anything from overseas is higher. Clearly, it's a bad time for a trip to America, England or Europe.
You heard that. Australian dollar is falling so bad, but there is no accountability from any government. There is no many people who even knows about what is the maps changes and all those kind of things supposed to be communicated. But with Australian news, main news right now, there's no much they were talking about it. There's no much. ABC. Let's see ABC what they're talking about. No much. Channel 10. So, with all this going on right now, with every economy going on right now, you telling me that the mainstream media in Australia have nothing to say about this government? Have nothing to say about the management, the budget, how everything is going so bad, yet choose to focus on Trump, who is making his country better. Australia, it's time to stand up for yourself. It's time to wake up and start putting your country first, because we are going into darkness of mainstream media. Is destroying this country. Is not there to work for you. Is you to start working for yourself and put your country first. Because this country we're living in, things are not going any good. But I want you to learn this. Every day, as I always say, it's not about believing in fear, but it's about taking a step towards change. One step we need to do is to start holding accountable our mainstream media. Our mainstream media just focus on our other countries, but because they're in favor of Labour government, they don't care. They are ready to do whatever they say, show you, making you forget about what is going on in Australia and focusing on what's going on in America. But this country is suffering. It's time to stand up. Subscribe and continue to get some reaction like this ones. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day.